Okay, so venture fund investing pace. Here we are talking about a chart shared by Megan Reynolds. Regular viewers of the show, Jason, will recall that she came to the 2024 Liquidity Summit. We shared her talk in episode 2008. If you want to go hear how she discusses the LP side of relationships in the venture game, and that's because she leads both talent and capital formation over at Altimeter. All right, all that said, she shared a very interesting chart showing the time between funds. And I'm going to pull up this chart here, Jason, and just give everyone a quick overview if they're on the audio. It's a time series chart tracking data from 2005 to 2024, and it shows how many months between funds from the same firm. And it gives a middle 50% interval and then also a median number. And it breaks this data into three categories: the kind of like olden days from 2005 to 2013, then the acceleration through COVID, which was 2014 through 2022, and then the last couple of years. And just to kick you off here, Jason, I ran all these numbers into a sheet, and the average for the first era was a 45-month gap between funds. Then that fell to a 29-month gap in the accelerated COVID era ZERP period. And then most recently, it's come back up to 31.5. I'm curious what you see in this data.
It's fascinating. I think people used to raise a fund and they were methodical deploying it over 3 or 4 years, from 2005 all the way to, it looks like, sorry, the chart just went off the screen.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Don't worry about it. I have the chart on my notes here. So just looking at it in my notes here, if you look at, or maybe leave it up so the audience can see as I sort of sportscast it, but if you look from 2005 all the way to 2014, that goes through the great financial crisis, right? And right up until things started to boom. And you have the average, I'm looking at the average dots, which are in the middle. And it starts in 2005 with 49 months to deploy a fund, right? That's after the dot-com bust. And then we see 52, 36, 42, 41, 46, 47, 45, 48. And then all of a sudden drop to 36 months to deploy a fund in 2014. So that's an interesting 10-year cycle there of where people were taking, 40 some odd months, 3.5, 4 years. I've always thought 3 years of primary investing was the right timing between funds, maybe 4. Then we get into sort of ZERP, it's getting really hot in here kind of era. And oh my Lord, in 2022, there was a 20-month, and if you look at 2020, 2021, 2022, that kind of tells the story. 23, 24, and 20 months between raising funds, numbered sequential funds. That's wild. That's wild. That means you were going back to your LPs every, 2.5, 3 years. It's just crazy. And now we're back up to 34, it looks like. So reversion to the mean, or the meme, reversion to the meme. But yeah, ZERP was not thoughtful. And then what happens is there's a very practical thing that happens here, Alex. If you concentrate all your bets in a 2-year period versus a 3 or even better 4-year period, if you take 4 years, then if there was a boom or a bust that happened, you might have 2 years of boom, like peak ZERP, and then 2 years in the trough. Or you might have just rid the last 4 years of the boom up, but at least the first 2 years might not be what would have been as unreasonable, right? Or you could have gotten lucky. All 4 years are deployed at the bottom of the market, like we are, I think, over the last year or two. And then boom, it all comes back and you're a hero. Or the 2009, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 vintages that were just Airbnbs, Coinbases, Ubers, et cetera. Lots of juicy stuff in there.